This is the Ohio AgNet from the Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF. Visit with your local ag retailer about 0% financing on all BASF crop protection, seed treatment, and Zetavo brand soybeans now through March 15th. I'm Ty Higgins. Join the Ohio AgNet Monday as we get an update from the Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Association about the great work being done to represent Ohio's grain farmers at the state and national levels. And get ready to see the future of farming. Join Ag Revolution for the Ohio Massey Ferguson Roadshow March 18th at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds in Circleville. Learn more and RSVP at agrev.com. We're in Washington, D.C. this week for the Ohio Farm Bureau County President's Trip. I visited with the president of Ohio Farm Bureau, Bill Patterson, about this 80th edition of very important work here in the nation's capital.
Yeah, I mean, what did that look like? How did we move the county leaders 80 years ago? That was only the mid-40s. But I did talk. I found a letter. I thought, well, 80 years. I should see if I can find any information. I couldn't. But I did find a letter, and they were talking about the very same issues. They were talking about a farm program, and they're talking about the importance of farmers' voice. And if you want a good farm program, you got to have farmers' voices in it. And it's the same story we're still telling. And I thought that's not bad that we're telling the same story, because we have a seat at the table. We're part of telling the story. We're part of creating a farm program that works. And so I'd say that that's a success, that we're still here 80 years later, still telling our story, still making a difference.
Yeah, topics are a little bit the same, but with how much things have changed in 80 years, now we're talking about year-round E15 with ethanol blended into our food fuel supply, talking about Farm Bill that really is outdated as it is now because it was created in 2018. What are you hearing from our members from Ohio as they come here as some of their top issues and what they'll be sharing with lawmakers here on the Hill?
I think the most pressing, and I also mentioned yesterday, we have to redefine the word current, right? Because current issues are becoming really current. And some of the biggest issues is that uncertainty of the things that are coming out of DC. So specifically, the conflict in Iran and the issues of Iran and how that's affecting us today. And if we can paint that picture, we can draw that parallel to the fact that these things happen immediately and affect us immediately and affect the decisions that we have to make for the next year or 5 years. Same thing with trade, same thing with tariffs, same thing with emergency assistance. These things matter, and we're not taking gifts, we're not taking subsidies. We're asking for clarity. We're asking for the removal of regulation, not additional. We can work together, we can figure this out, but it starts with the certainty. It starts with things like the Farm Bill and the farm program that talks about the priorities of food in this nation.
I know it's been going on for 80 years. You have not been here quite that long, but you've been here quite a few years in a row. Does this view, does this atmosphere, does this effort ever get old?
No, I mean, I've never been any less excited for this trip and Ag Day at the Capitol in Columbus, because that is where you come out of those so energized that you told your story, you met the people, you built your relationships, you've made a difference. You come out of these meetings feeling that the work of Farm Bureau and the importance of the membership of Farm Bureau having these messages, it's truly incredible, and it is what inspires you to continue to do this day after day after day and put in that extra efforts for the members.
Bill Patterson, president of Ohio Farm Bureau, joining us from the nation's capital on the 80th DC trip with county presidents from across the Buckeye State. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Ty.
Weather with Ryan Martin, brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com.
We have a monster low trying to move out of the upper Midwest and across the Great Lakes for overnight tonight through tomorrow, and that's going to create some very gusty winds in northwest and north central parts of the state. I think we also have to look for cloud cover through the first part of the day in northern parts of Ohio. Clouds dissipate towards sunset, partly sunny skies in southern locations. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thank you, Ryan. Markets and analysis next on the Ohio AgNet.
Looking for heavy equipment but don't know where to buy? Purple Wave Auction has you covered. Always online and always no reserve. It's your destination for construction or ag equipment ready to work. We even sell semis, trailers, and fleet equipment for your operation. Best part? It's free to join. Head to purplewave.com. That's purplewave.com. Sign up for a free account and start bidding today. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Welcome back to the Ohio AgNet. I'm Ty Higgins, and today's market analysis is brought to you by Louis Dreyfus Company. Excited to bring a brand new soybean crush facility to Upper Sandusky. Learn more about marketing your soybeans with LDC at 574-566-2113. Corn futures rising again on the heels of rising crude oil markets and still expanding conflict with Iran. And soybean oil continues to run to the upside on the heels of a strong crude oil market and on ideas that the EPA will soon release its new blending mandates. At midday, March corn up 9 1/4 at 453 1/2. May 467 3/4 up by 7 1/4. March soybeans 1218 3/4 picking up 18 1/4 at midday. May up 19 1/4 at 1233 1/4. And July wheat 617 1/4 up by 11 1/2. Markets brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. April live cattle down 45 at 229.70. Feeders for April 340.10 down 320. And April lean hogs off 30 at 94.87. For the Ohio AgNet, I'm Ty Higgins. We'll see you down the road.